Okay, this position that we see here is called the Lucena position. It's a very famous position in rook endings. Some people call it the holy grail of rook endings, so important this position is. So let's have a look at what's going on, because white can win this position, but it's not easy. The pawn on d7 is very important. The pawn on d7 only needs one move to promote and win the game. But the problem of white is that his own king is standing in the way. The king on d8 needs to move to make space for the white pawn to continue. But the problem is that the black rook is guarding the whole c-file, and the black king is guarding these two squares. So that's the problem for white. How to move his king away and promote his pawn. Now many people in this position will try things like rook e7 check, but it doesn't work, because the black king simply stays on the f-file, and you can give a few checks, but nothing more than that. So that doesn't work. Another thing that we can try is not to give a check with the rook on e7, but with the rook on f1. So rook e1 to f1 check. So first move, rook up, rook f1. Then, well, of course black doesn't go to e6, because then simply king e8, and on the next move white can promote with the pawn. So that would not be smart for black to do. Better is of course to go to g7. Now we have the important moment in the Lucena position. White can try different things. He can try king e8, king e7, rook g1. Those three possibilities we're going to look first. Let's see what happens if he plays his king to e8. Then black starts giving checks. The king must go back to d8, and then the rook back to c2, and white hasn't achieved anything. And what if the king doesn't go to e8 but to e7? Again, black gives checks with the rook. Now this time the king can go to d6. Check. Now you must go to e6 to keep defending the d7 pawn. One more check. You can go to d5, but after a check on d2 we have to go back to e6, because otherwise the pawn will be taken. So that means that this doesn't give us any hope either. So in this position, well, I show you one more possibility. That was rook to g1, but then black simply goes back to f7, and after a check he goes back to g7, so this doesn't work either. The last possibility, which is the most beautiful move in this example, is the move rook to f4. Now it looks as a very strange move if you haven't seen this before. It's a very mysterious rook move, but it's the way to win. I'll show you. Black cannot do anything special here, so he just simply waits. Rook c1, staying on the c-file. Now the king goes to e7. And just like before, black can give the checks. King goes to d6, check on d1. King e6, rook check on e1. King d5, just like before. And now, after one check, we see the importance of the rook on f4. Because in the variation before, when the rook was still on f1, white needed to go to e6 to defend his pawn, remember? But now he can play rook to d4, and then on the next move the white pawn simply promotes and wins the game. So this is the way of winning this position. This is also called building a bridge. That's another name of the maneuver of white, because with this rook he kind of builds a bridge to win the position. Okay, that's it.